welcome back to the Abandoned Cockpit. 2 episodes in as many weeks, I think. So fingers crossed that this keeps up, at least for a little bit. But it's funny because one of my friends asked me something about like, oh, are you still doing that Invisible Spaceship podcast? Like, yep, that's pretty much another name for it. So I did pick up a beer today at Randy's Market. Is that what it is? I always think of it as Larson's Food Pride still. But got the wow. Where's the light? Bush, peach. I don't know. I'm sure my dad thinks that's a little lame. I know I do. But I'm not a fan of Busch Light. And there's no hiding that. I'll admit to that freely. I don't make fun of people that drink it really anymore. I just think it's kind of a waste of time. If you're gonna drink something, why would you drink something awful like that? And my brothers have tricked me into drinking it before. It's not something that I will usually willingly drink. Like if I have the option between that and drinking water or something else, anything else, like probably won't drink it. However, I will admit that the Busch Light apple was pretty okay. Like I did not actually mind that. I was shocked. I was very surprised. So when I saw the Busch Light peach, I was like, I'm curious. I gotta know. So I saw a single sold. They were sold singly or 2 for $3 or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'll try it, and if I hate it, I'll throw it in the garbage, and no big deal. I look like I'm falling asleep, probably because I was up so late last night. But anyways, let's give it a go. And you can see my squinchy face if it's terrible, when it's terrible, more like it. All right. I've been subjecting my daughter to a lot of Laurel and Hardy black and white pictures. You can definitely smell that. And that seemed like a very Oliver Hardy thing to do, is what came to mind. But yeah, let's give it a go. Cheers, my friends. Drinkable so far. It's not awesome, but I'll finish it. It's good. It's good enough for that. So the thing that I thought of to do tonight for the podcast was the book of questions. I was honestly just looking through my books, and I was looking for maybe a poem I could read or a daily devotion or something that I could just do for the podcast. And Dane hates that I call this a podcast. Oh, maybe I'll just call it the show. Something I could do for the show. There you go, Dane. But yeah, this I just flipped through and it's like, oh, it's just literally a book of random freaking questions. So I thought I'd ask myself a couple and try to answer them and go from there. Wow. Number 31. If you knew there would be a nuclear war in 1 week, what would you do? Well, in 1 week, that definitely changes things, because not so much that nuclear war is what I worry about, but I do think that apocalypse is completely possible in our lifetime. Like I can see shit hitting the fan and the world or the country going to crap. So I know me and Dane have talked ad nauseum about food and food shortages and getting that stuff together. And I've got a little garden growing, but tell you what, that garden's going to be good for making like a small batch of salsa or hot sauce. Like it's not a sustainable source of food. And I have seen some things of microgreens advertised where you have like shelves that you can put in your basement or wherever in your house, and you just grow like basically sprouts and like little leafy, they're like trays, and you just grow these little plants. And a lot of the stuff is marketed for, oh, you can take it to the farmer's market and sell it there, blah blah blah. But I think that's something that I might also look into, is just growing some microgreens that we can use for salads and whatever. I think you can do different kind of chives or onions, which would be nice too. So I think food is something that I'm already worried about. I want to get some long-term storage food. You can get buckets of food packaged, freeze dried or whatever, that lasts for like 25 years, which is wild. But I honestly think if I had 3 months of food for the family sitting here in my house, like that'd pretty much make me feel way more at ease about anything that was going on. Because like lockdowns and shutdowns, that was pretty crazy, where the distribution or just the ability to go to the store to buy something, never you mind inflation or, you know, just anything that can possibly happen. It's just like, man, we're teetering on the edge of, you know, it can't take that much for everything to just get crazy again. So but if I had 1 week, and I know I've got well, I know that I have more than 1 week, so a lot of that stuff I would like to get together, but 1 week, and I presume that doesn't mean trying to stop it, but I guess 1 week. What can you do in 1 week? I mean, would you try to find a shelter and like basically take it over? Or would you try to build one? Because I think building an underground bunker is not as easy as just some cinder blocks and cement. I think you gotta worry about leaking, flooding, water damage, or, you know, lots of different things, let alone just being in the dark in a hole. Ventilation, things like that. So I guess if I knew that, if I myself, well, it doesn't specify if it's only you that knows or if everybody knows, because I'm gonna say it's just me that knows. If it's just me that knows, if everybody knew, it'd be pandemonium. But if it's just me, I think I would pack up what I could, go to the grocery store and buy as much canned good stuff as I could. Or if it's a week, maybe you can order some of that crap online. And I don't know, a lot of the camping shops, they have MREs and things like that, you know. But definitely round up my family and try to find a hole in the ground that already exists and commandeer it. Take it over. Which, if I'm the only person that knows it's going to happen in a week, I would think you'd be able to find one that was not occupied or guarded or things like that, you know. So yeah, I guess you gotta get your ducks in a row pretty quick. 1 week, that's not a lot of time. I mean, Destiny's going on vacation in 3 days, and she's already worried about packing for that, and she's only going to be gone for 4 days. So yeah, that's 1 week. Probably something we should all consider. It's probably not the worst question to ask, even hypothetically. But you wonder if you would tell people, because it would get out of hand pretty quick. You know, if you could tell people in such a convincing manner that they believed you too. You know, because I mean, we've got loved ones, you know, more than just our immediate family or even extended family, like friends, coworkers. I don't know. Would I just go hide, or would I try to tell everybody? I guess I would probably try to get to where I could be as safe as I could, and then at that point I'd try to tell those that I would consider closest to me about it. But that's pretty scary stuff. But it's not something that we actively worry about too often. But, all right, next one. Number 149. Someone you love deeply is brutally murdered, and you know the identity of the murderer, who unfortunately is acquitted of the crime. Would you seek revenge? That's interesting only because I saw a meme, and I don't even I can't even remember the specifics of the meme, but in the meme it says he's not looking for revenge, he's bringing a reckoning or something like that. And even though I haven't seen the movie in a long time, I knew immediately it was from Tombstone. And I think that's what it would be like. If I knew who it was, there would be, so not to incriminate myself, but I think that Punisher on somebody, if I knew for a fact that they were the ones that murdered a loved one of mine, I I think it would probably be that way. So I should probably not say that on on here, but let's just hope that it never comes to that. And it's just silly questions, right? Just silly questions. Nuclear war and murder. I didn't realize it was so hard hitting. Book of Questions gives you permission to ask those things that are too bold, too embarrassing, or just too difficult to ask yourself. Oh, well, let's go to the next one. I have not read through this at all. Too much. 95. If by sacrificing your life you could contribute so much to the world that you would be honored in all nations, would you be willing to do so? If so, would you make the same sacrifice knowing that someone you thoroughly disliked would receive the honor while you went unrecognized? Sorry, I'm thinking. Contribute so much to the world that you would be honored in all nations. I don't know. I feel like we never have enough time here, and to willingly cut that time even shorter, I'd say today I'm not ready to do that. Sorry about all the video of me drinking. It's awful. That's why it's good to have a second person to talk while I drink. If you're 85, you willingly sacrifice your life, but if you're 25, 35, 45, it brings a different kind of measure to it. So I guess it would depend on what it brought to the world. And I don't know. I'm not too concerned about the rest of the world, which isn't really a good or bad thing to say. It's just I'm much more focused on my immediate surroundings and community, and I can do a much better job of supporting my community. So I'm not saying I'm Mr. Stand-Up Citizen by any means, but I think I'd be more worried about that than whatever's happening in, the middle of China, or, pick a place. So to be, I definitely wouldn't do it for the honor, like being recognized and being honored. No, that's not why I would do it. It would depend on the actual contribution itself. So the second part of the question asks if I would still do it if I didn't receive the honor, but someone that I thoroughly disliked did. And to me, that doesn't come into play. Like, it would still be what the contribution was, and if I was ready to go. Like, I don't care if I am known for it or if somebody else is known for it, and it have to be for the deed itself. So I guess that's all the questions I'm going to ask for today. But it's kind of an interesting book. I just happened to see it on my shelf, and there's plenty of books on my shelf that I've not ever read. So to crack it, I was like, oh, let's ask some things that I may have not otherwise thought of. But that's all I've got for today. I would say that I'd like to keep it short, but this feels like it's probably gone on a lot longer than I realized. So I'll do minimal editing and pop it up on the YouTube just to try to get these things out there. Like how I've got two little red dots. I look like Pinocchio or something like that. Raggedy Andy. Like, yeah, should probably learn to put some makeup on. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. I'm not going to subject anybody to that. So, anyways, have a great night, day, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. And we'll keep cracking at this. And one of these days, we'll have a good podcast.